If you look at the California quail that's on haiku, you're going to see the shape of the bird. And this particular bird is not a very large bird, but it has a quite a round body, and on the top of it has a kind of a plume feather. So if you think about planning your quail in your sketchbook, I want you to just try a couple of times, several times drawing it. Look at the screen picture and then just try to copy it. Look at what you see, look at the details, and then go ahead and copy the picture. So I think about that bird. It's got a very small beak. And I think about that beak, and where's the relationship of its eyes? Directly back from the beak? Directly back from the beak. So I'm just going to give myself some landmarks to build the head. And then the front part of the head kind of comes from the beak, very round, right up above the beak. There's a little space there. And that seems to be right about where, in the drawing, in the artist drawing that we're copying, that feather, plume of feathers kind of comes out. And then the rest of the head, around the eye, and back down. Then there's a curve out from underneath this beak and the other part of the head. And before I draw, kind of practice the line I'm going to draw in the air. And then the body, the round body. I'm going to go around, and the tail comes down. And I think about the back then, where the belly comes out. And my bird, he's got a very big belly. And as you practice the drawing a couple times, you're going to see that you have some variation in the way you draw it. And match up those feathers on the bottom. Now it's time to start adding some details. So if you look just in the back of the eye, there's that kind of white plume of feathers. And this is all black in here. But there seems to be a little white line of feathers kind of coming out from the eye. And then it almost looks like he's got a hat. He's got a lot of color, different white and brown on the top. It seems to join up with those gray colored feathers. And I'm going to make two lines here to remind myself that those are white, and then this is brown in the back. Going to make an end for that. And then this part, we've got the bluish feathers. And then we have the wing. It's going to come down. The blue feathers. And they seem to, that brown wing makes kind of a triangle shape right there. And actually, that wing seems to cover the whole body. So I'm going to go up a little bit higher, actually, and erase that line. And these are longer. The artist is trying to draw those longer. In the picture that we're copying, those are flight feathers because it's a wing feather. So those feathers have to be much stronger. So they're bigger. And we can see the way the artist has kind of shown them in long lines. And this, the patterning underneath, these almost looks like pebbles stuck together in a pathway. So I'm going to make it kind of look like that. It's got those brown and black flower feathers here. You decide on your final drawing and you add color with the colored pencils. This is just kind of practice sketch. I'm going to get a little bit of practice first. And it looks like up in here he's got some black feathers mixed in with those bluish colored feathers. There's a white patch. You know what? As I'm studying the picture more, I think I'm going to move this line down. And you're going to find that you do the same thing. Oh, I noticed something new. It really comes down more on the neck. So the more and more we observe, the more and more we're going to notice about the object that we're drawing. So kind of study the drawings that you see on the haiku and think about what I've talked about. And go ahead and try a couple sketches, quick sketches of the quail. Once you feel like you know how to draw the quail, then take your little square of paper and we're going to draw the quail standing on a tree stump. So our quail is going to be standing on a tree stump because we're going to actually use this as part of a layered project that we're going to build as we go through the rest of the year that's focused on California symbols, the symbols of California, and the California state symbol, state bird, state animals, state flower. And this, of course, is a tree stump that's been cut off. So we're going to make those lines to show the wood. I don't want to make this look like it's bark, so I'm going to make it look rough. And of course, my drawing is not done, and this is just a practice sketch.